This is our first guest episode. I'd like to give a shout out to my boy, Jesse Delgado.
Give it up one time. Give it up for Jesse.
What's up, guys?
Our very first guest of the podcast. This is pretty cool. He reached out to us. When was it? Last week?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw y'all post about it, and I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I want to try this.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, we're stoked about this. I've known Jesse for over 10 years now, since fall 2014.
Oh, fuck, it has been over 10
Yeah,
years.
it
Damn,
has.
years?
10
Wow.
years.
I'm reaching unk status now, man.
Type shit.
That's what's up, brother. But yeah, I mean, you want to say something about yourself? I mean, you know, you're a bartender. You worked at a lot of bars. And, yeah, tell us about your life. Tell us.
Man. Well, obviously, Fort Worth native, born and raised here in the funk. And, you know, never would have expected to be bartending where I am at now. But, you know, life kind of happened really quick. And it ended up being a career that I definitely fell in love with, dude. I mean, of all things that I could do, all the different trades and stuff like that that's out there. And, you know, people have different job opportunities that always fall into their lap. I just was a server one day at the OG with you, man. And I fucking was like, hey, man, I want to give a try out with this bartending thing. Like, I've had family that's done it before. I've known a lot of people in the industry and stuff like that for years. And it seemed like a lot of fun. And obviously, there's like the down ends of it. You know, it turned into a degenerate at certain points in time. You know, the alcohol takes effect after a while when you're 10 shots deep. But
Hey, yo.
dude, there had to be a start and a finish somewhere. And you know, there's definitely saw that light at the end of the tunnel with bartending, where I was like, I can make something out of this, dude. I can make something for myself, and I love the career I do now, man. It's very great opportunities everywhere, and you know, I got blessed to be able to work at every single different spot, from you know, craftier spots to shitty little dive bars where I found some of my best friends at. So it's just been a great experience.
You went into management here for a little bit, right?
Yeah, man. So actually, at the last company I worked for before Don's, I worked for Poor Decisions, was a bartender there for about 3 years. You know, I love that place, love that company and all the people there. I still go and visit them to this day. But, you know, there came an opportunity when my daughter was about to be born. They were opening up a new concept actually right here down the street. It was called Buena Vida, or it is called Buena Vida.
Yeah.
You know, one of the owners reached out to me and he was like, hey, man, like, you know, we see your grind. You know, he loved my work ethic and stuff like that. He gave me the opportunity to go for it, and I took it, and I never looked back, you know. And fortunately, things happen along the way, you know. It was like I said, once my daughter was born, life kind of changed and circumstances changed. So, you know, I couldn't do the late nights anymore. I couldn't be out till 2, 3 in the morning, especially trying to be
those get to you, man.
a new dad. But you know, it was a great opportunity when actually I was looking for a new spot, and I came across Milton randomly at Rabbit Hole one day, dude. I think it was a Tuesday. We were all getting tacos from Omar.
Hell yeah.
And he was just like, dude, we're looking for a bartender at Don's. Like, fuck it, try it out. Come in and, you know, apply and like that. And dude, it's been a great opportunity since then. It's been a great change of pace for me. You know, I get to spend a lot more time with my daughter, and it's just a much more grown approach to bartending than what I've been used to for the past few years. Because normally, like I said, living that fast, high volume lifestyle out there on 7th Street and stuff like that, dude, it takes a toll on your life, man. It takes a toll on your body.
Yep, definitely.
You know, you're obviously very easily accessible to alcohol out there, and you know, being a manager and stuff like that, I chose to delve right into like the advantages of it. And dude, I couldn't keep doing it.
Yeah.
I had to be
tough.
a better person, had to be a stronger man, be a better dad. So, you know, I took the opportunity where I could right now, and I love it.
That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, he works at Don Artemio's Mexican restaurant. It's in the cultural district in Fort Worth. And actually, my wife, she's the bartending manager. She started bartending there, and she always told me, like, hey, if you ever see people that you know that might want to come work over here, like, bring them over here. And that's what what I did with Milton, because he worked at Olive Garden with me too. And I was like, bro, you're a great server. Like, you're better than, not to shit on Olive Garden because I still work there, but like, you're better than Olive Garden. Like, you can make really good money. And yeah, got him the job over there. He interviewed, got hired, and yeah, everything happens for a reason too, you know. Also, so yeah, they're really happy you're there, by the way.
Oh, that's good to hear, man. I have my moments being the new guy, and I'm just like, dude, like, you know, especially like I said, man, I worked on 7th Street for years now. The past few years, I worked at all these little dive bars. Like when Rabbit Hole first opened up, I was a bar back over there and got familiar with all the dive scene and stuff. And then I eventually moved over to Mad Hatter. But dude, like, going from being like a little degenerate, freshly 21-year-old kid who just thinks I'm hot shit on the streets, like running around, throwing money at people, you know, in bottle service 3 nights out of the week, like switching over to Don Artemio's now, man, and being able to have much more professional approach to this lifestyle is definitely, you know, I think it was the right avenue to take at my point in life right now, especially like I said, being a brand new father. My daughter just hit 1.5 years, actually on the 11th a few days ago.
Congrats, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. And you know, it's such a great experience to be able to have the accessibility to be more present and not.
That's important, dude, because they grow so fast, bro. Mine just turned 13 in February, so
That sounds terrifying.
That's
I'm not
insane.
ready. I'm not ready for that.
cherish the moments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she's starting to like speak now and has little words and stuff like that. And I was like 2 months ago, you couldn't even say banana. Like, why? What the hell are you telling me you want food now? I was like, I thought you just called everything papa. Like,
Yeah.
Right? How many years were you on West 7th bartending?
So in the summer of 2020, actually, I got an opportunity to be a barback at TXR. And it was in the meantime while I was kind of transitioning out of OG. And I had a friend of mine who reached out to one of the managers out there. It was like, hey, like, you're not 21 yet. You can't bartend, but we can bring you in as a barback. And then when Rabbit Hole opened up in the summer going into the fall of 2021, they brought me in as a barback / bartender as training, kind of get my feet wet a little bit more, being familiar with bartending and stuff like that in that aspect instead of just being in a more restaurant environment. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, I mean, I would say up until November of last year, was it 4 years? I mean,
Damn.
Did that, but it feels like such a much longer time, man. I'm talking about like I did it for a full-time job, 5, sometimes 6 days a week, you know.
Damn.
I bet you got some crazy stories out of all that experience and all those years now.
We want the juicy stuff.
Straight up. We want the steak, dog.
All right, I got one. It was actually my very,
Let's do it.
my very first week at Rabbit Hole. I was a bar back, and you know, obviously brand new bar. People love the company right there. You know, Juwan, Bailey, like Chris Jordan, all those people are such great people. I mean, they've built something so strong, and the foundation there is such a family friendly environment. You know, even people will show up like on, you know, when there's football going on the weekends and stuff in the mornings and everything. Yeah, they're more than welcome. You know, people. You know, bringing a kid every once in a while and stuff to within respectable means and everything. But dude, there was one night, my first week there bar backing, actually, it's just some random chick. I don't even know who she was. She was just like, hey, like, I really like your shirt. Can I have one? And I was like, yeah, like what size? Like whatever, what do you need? They actually sold out of all the shirts within like the first 2 weeks of the place being open. Like I think the only sizes they had left were like 3XLs, 2XLs and shit like that.
Damn, son.
So she was like, well, let me get yours. And I was like, huh? And she was like, I will give you $50 right now if you take that shirt off of your back, like in front of the bar. And I was like, all right, fuck it. Like, I'm brand new to this. Like, I looked at one of the managers and he was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, do what you want. Like, he's like, just make sure you have another shirt. And I was like, well, do you have another large in the back? And he's like, let me go see if I can find one. So I ended up taking an XL that they just found like randomly at the bottom of a box. It just happened to be like the last one. So, you know, the lady was like, I want you to strip for me. And I was like, fuck, dude. So me being
Magic
like
Jesse up in here.
She didn't even want the shirt, huh?
No, had my little Channing Tatum moment, dog. No, I'm just kidding.
Straight up.
Yeah, dude, I literally was like, all right, fucking, I just kind of like ripped it off real quick. And then I like hauled ass to the restroom. And I was like in front of everybody, dude. Like, I was a lot like skinnier back then too. I didn't have the little dad bod I put on now. So like just a little scrawny fuck, just ran all the way to the restroom and you know, I got $50 out of it, you know, didn't get her number. She got drunk and just randomly dipped off. So I was like, cool, you know, like I made $50 out of it and I don't know who you are. Some cougar. See you wherever you're out there in the world. Like, I hope you enjoy that shirt. But like, yeah, that gave me a great first like week of getting into the industry out there. It was fucking, and then that's like the tip of the iceberg of shit out there, dude. Like, I mean, I probably have so many stories I don't remember, which were probably a lot worse than that one.
Straight up, dude.
But there are so many great times out there, man. Actually, another little story. This shirt right here, the 817 right here, is actually a good friend of mine. His name's Pedro. I think he's actually about to open up his own brick and mortar like store. It's called Us Never Them. He actually would show up to the rabbit holes. What is it? The little Sunday.
When they do like outside, when they do like pop-ups and stuff.
Yeah, the little pop-up events.
I see
and
them
stuff.
when they post online.
He did some of the first couple of ones they did, and he would go and he makes his own printing. He prints his own shirts and stuff like that. Has the machine and everything like that.
Shout out.
That's what's up.
Dude, he's been fucking killing it, man. And I was just, there's so many nights where I actually met him. We grew up in the same neighborhood and everything like that, dude. Never realized that until one day I randomly ran across him at Rabbit Hole, and he was like, "Hey, I know you. You're so-and-so's little brother," because obviously everybody fucking knows me as Baby Delgado, the youngest of five kids who all were just little degenerates running around the hood. Like,
damn.
We all, everyone kind of knew me as that, so he came across me and he was like, "Hey, you're so-and-so's little brother, right? Like, I know who you are. You work at Rabbit Hole, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh, what's up, dude? Like, yeah, it's nice to meet you." And then he put me on with one of these shirts. And, dude, like, that was at the very beginning of his business, man. Like, he probably had, like, 50. He would go bar to bar and try to sell them out to people and stuff like that. And now, dude, he's fucking killing it, man. I mean, I think he does events for some certain bars, too. He tries to do a Rabbit Hole pop-up every once in a while when he can, but
hell yeah,
he's such a fucking cool dude, man.
That's sick, dude.
Text us his IG and we'll put it up here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when we're talking about him. So, yeah.
But yeah, man, there's plenty of stories I could go all fucking day on with this stuff, man. I mean,
Right.
that was literally just like, these are just stories from Rabbit Hole too. This wasn't even before I got to actual 7th Street. And that goes like, and then when I got over there, I went full scent Degenerate. Like, I worked at a few different places over there until I found my home at Poor Decisions. I helped out at Reservoir for a little bit. People at Ampersand, I fucking love that place, dude. I love the vibe over there, the party scene, it's everything over there. Some of the best coffee in Fort Worth, actually, I've ever had.
We tried it, yeah. It's pretty good.
Even their smoothies, like, I'm barely dipping my toe into coffee recently, like the past couple of years, because now, like, I think I need caffeine to keep myself going sometimes. But I usually used to get their smoothies and stuff like that, dude, but it's such a fucking good place. Like, during the daytime, such a chill little spot to go, and, like, you can study, do homework, do whatever kind of work you need to do over there when it's not, like, the bar's not set up.
Yep.
And then once it switches over to that night scene, man, I mean, it's a whole nother fucking animal there.
They flip that switch.
Yeah, dude, and, Tony's a great guy. I love him. He's one of my best friends in the world. He's one of their managers over there. He knows he's the heart and soul of that place and keeps it running, man. I fucking love him, and he brought me in for a while whenever I was in between, looking before I got in at Don Artemio's, like, he brought me in, let me do some few shifts with them, and it was such one of the best fucking times I had in my life, dude. But that's a full party scene, like I said. That was me trying to phase out of those 3 a.m.s.
Yeah.
And that was probably the last little hurrah I had out there.
Those are tough.
Homie had his last run and said sayonara.
Honestly, dead ass my last shift, yeah. I was like, you know what, guys? Like, maybe this isn't for me anymore.
Yeah, he was like, let's just go ham one more time and just go in.
I definitely full sent that fucking last
That's
shift,
good,
dude.
bro. That's how it should be.
Do you miss it at all or no? Or is there times that you're like, fuck, I wish I would have stayed over there?
I mean, for sure. Like it's such a fast-paced environment. High volume is so fun, too, because there's times where I really don't want to associate with, like, being such a, how do I say it? I won't say I'm not a hospitable person when I'm bartending out there, but there's a difference between being hospitable in the sense of, like, having to serve somebody in an environment like Don Artemio's where you have to be,
Professional.
very professional, very self-aware of, like, what you're saying, what you're doing, every little thing from dropping plates down on the table and stuff like that on the bar top, like, to even making drinks. Like, I can sling, 4 bottles in 2 hands, or, like, 2 bottles in each hand, make shots and drinks all day, speed bartend, and make whatever recipes I can, like, bullshit. But over there, you have to be a lot more intricate and professional in the way you make your movements and stuff like that. So I miss it. It's very good, like, quick, easy money and stuff like that if you can get into the right spots. But at the same time, there's no guarantee that, like, that shit's gonna last forever. I've seen in the 4 years I was out there, I mean, I've probably seen 6, 7 different concepts shut down out there alone. That's not considering, people will try to move venues, try to move to new places, and it just doesn't catch fire again. They can't find that same little kink that they had whenever they were popping. But the ones that are out there, the ones that are still rocking, those are the places that are solidified in their spots right now, dude. And I always miss it, man. I do miss a lot of the fun side of it, the party style. I guess that might still be my young degenerate side, like fiending for it a little
Right.
bit.
You think about coming out of retirement?
Oh, all the time, dude. If somebody calls, like, I'll probably answer and be like, look, man, throw me in for a guest bar, because I can do a guest bartending shift at a few places. I can go in and, you know, kind of dip my feet back into the water if I really wanted to, if I could reach out to them. But I'm happy where I'm at right now, man. Like I said, I like the more professional approach to bartending. I like being a lot more, you know, intricate with what I do. I like the craftier side of things, you know. Being a manager over here at Buena Vida, it was really fun in the aspect that I got a lot of creative control with making the drinks and everything like that.
Yeah.
So trying to put new drinks on the menu, R&Ding stuff, bringing stuff in, like new recipes, new mixers and stuff like that. It was really fun for me. So to be able to be at Don Artemio's where I would try to talk to actually Karin about it, and I was like, hey, do you think I could try this? Like, and she was like, why are you asking me? Just go fucking do it, dude. Like, she's like, if you have an idea, she's like, obviously don't waste the liquor, but like, if you want to make a syrup, you want to try to make a new recipe or something, like, go for it. And, you know, Dylan over there is like the brains behind a lot of those drinks. Him and Alonso have already like brought me such a far way of being like, hey, you got an idea, man, just fucking go for it, dude. Like, that's literally how it just is there.
That's the cool thing about that place too. Like, you know, you can come up with drinks, and if they like it, they'll put it on the menu.
That creative freedom's probably awesome to have too. It's not like, hey, this is how it is, stick by the book. It's kind of cool to have put your own spin on stuff.
Yeah, dude, it definitely is. It's just such a great place to be able to have that creative control over there, and, you know, not have to worry about like someone telling me to stay in line or stay like by the book. Obviously, you know, you have your reasons or times where you have to be, you know, play it by the rules and stuff like that.
Situational awareness.
But I mean, regardless, it's about free range. It's like, if I want to try something, I'm just gonna fucking go for it and try it, dude. Like, it's
awesome.
It's a different pace, and I love it, man. I don't think I would look back from this and regret it, but definitely somebody calls me on 7th Street, I'm there.
It's probably good to have that change of pace though, going from the crazy hectic like 7th Street vibe to like the Donnie A vibe. It's probably good to have that kind of yin and yang now, especially transitioning to like being a dad now.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%, dude. Like, I definitely I had a moment where I had to take a step back and kind of evaluate everything. When I first became a father, I was like, is this really what I want to do? You know, you never want to be put in a situation where you have to choose, you know, do I want to be a parent, or do I want to be, you know, the guy out there bartending and making all the money in the world? Because like I said, the money is always going to be there, dude. You can find it anywhere, honestly, especially if you got the skills and you're like, have the self-confidence in yourself to be able to go out there and do it. You can make the money at any bar, any place, any restaurant environment you get into. But at one point in time, I did like take advantage of the alcohol, and it was just like a self-reflecting moment where I was like, dude, I don't want to look back 3 years from now, 4 years from now, and it's like I missed all this time with my daughter that now I get, well, because Don Artemio's gives me the availability to be a dad.
Yeah.
Well, at least you kind of got out of your system before she came around, though, so that's a good thing. You know,
Yeah,
you can look at the positive of that, and also like now that you have the time to spend with her and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, dude, 100%. Like I said, working on 7th Street, there were nights where I wouldn't get home till, you know, bars close at 2. You spend an hour there cleaning up, you know. Every once in a while, the group's going to be like, hey, guys, y'all want to take a shot before we leave? And then everyone just starts chopping it up. Y'all start yapping, you know. Time goes by when you're separating all the money and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it gets to be like, y'all look up while everyone's just kind of chilling, having fun, you know, where somebody's jamming, putting on the music at the end of the night. And we look up, it's like 4:30 in the morning, and you're like, damn, dog, I got to be back here at 11 to open. What the fuck am I doing in my life?
Damn.
But then even on the other side of that, it was like, you know, on the nights that I would do that, you know, either my family or Priscilla's family would be watching the baby, and then it's like, well, we can't even go pick up my daughter because it's like she's knocked out. She's sound asleep. I'm not going to go and get my child to go spend, you know, 3 or 4 hours with her and then just fall asleep. Like, at Don Artemio's, I can get out of work, probably the latest is like 11:30. We've been averaging on some of these like Fridays and Saturday night. Friday and Saturday night, it sounds crazy to me to think that I'm getting out of work before midnight even.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, and I love it, dude, because then I get to go home, and like there's nights where my daughter's already asleep, so like I'll just kind of, you know, put her in bed, and I'll kind of hop on the game or binge watch some TV shows or something like that. But dude, if she's awake, man, I spend every second with her awake that I can. We'll go to the park. I'll take her around the block in her little car. Like, it's such a great way to great change in life, man. I love it.
Heck yeah, man. So we're about to get into the questions that his friends had asked him on Instagram. We had him post a story last night, and we're about to read them right now.
That's classic.
But I want to get into yesterday. We were at a bar, and how many people? 2 people came up to us, and they're like, "Bro, we fuck with y'all's pod, and we like how y'all putting like Fort Worth on the map." And honestly, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're trying to get Fort Worth people to get on. And like we said, we want to do it from real estate people to celebrities to freaking musicians to barbers. If you or somebody you know wants to get on the pod, just DM us or just comment. We'll hit you back up.
I think it's really anyone with an interesting story. If you got some cool stuff to sell, like
Facts.
we'd love to hear it. I think everyone else out there would love to hear it because we're trying to put on for Fort Worth for the 817 right
for
here,
the
baby.
817 Funky Town.
Yeah. So if you think you got what it takes, or you think you got the stories, or got the sauce, or stuff you want to say out there, hit us up, bro.
For sure. You want to start off with the first one?
All right, so it's question time for Jesse.
You ask him.
You want me to ask him? I got
Yeah,
you, bro.
yeah, you ask
me just go in a row?
Yeah.
I got you. So, first one is the worst date you've ever been on.
God.
The answer is none. He slays them all.
Honestly, dude, I don't think I've had like a bad.
You don't have
let
a
me
you
think
don't have
about
a
this.
TJ story?
Oh, fuck.
We got to get him on for sure.
I might have
yeah.
to go back to.
There might be a weight
I might
limit
have to
on
go
this.
back to like high school for this one, dude. Not the worst date I've ever been on. It was actually a good date, but it was back in high school. Actually, I was talking to a girl from Arlington, and she had to come pick me up for this day. Actually, at the time, because I used to drive. Remember that fucking goldenrod yellow shitty pickup truck I had? So my dad has a 1974 Chevy C10 that we rebuilt the starter, we worked on the carburetor and all that, and I drove that little dump through high school up until I got my Jeep. And I love that truck. I want to remodel it. I want to fix it up and take it back to its it's sitting in my parents' house right now. The carburetor finally gave out on it, so we got to completely either buy a brand new one, which is not that much to put a new carburetor in there, or just rebuild it again. But at the time, I was driving that, and I was kind of like that shit's not making it to fucking Arlington, dude. Like,
Yeah, you were like, I'm not risking
gonna
it.
overheat on me. Like, it's probably gonna die in the middle of while we're on the road. Now I'm gonna have to stare at her and be like, my bad, dog. But so she picks me up, and we go out to eat. It was a chill little date or whatever, but we were just trying to find a nice place to sit and chat, kind of get to know each other and stuff like that. So of all fucking places, we end up at Trinity Park at 8 p.m. And it's during the winter time too, so sun goes down by 6 o'clock and shit like that. And at this time we're completely oblivious to the fact that we're at a park after dark, children's park, by the way. There's definitely somebody patrolling the area that's just looking for some weirdo pedophile or something like that. So
Some dope head.
yeah, so we get to mackin in the car or whatever. We're talking, do the little soft whatever, you're cute, whatever, blah blah blah.
Shit.
So we get to trying to take stuff to the back seat, and in the middle of the process of us climbing back there, a fucking cop taps on her window.
Oh, no.
Pulls us both out of the car. And mind you, I think I'm wearing a button up at the time or something, because my shit's it was cold outside too, and they made us get out of the car, and I was like, bro, can I put this back on? He was like, no. He's like, you're gonna learn your lesson.
Were you booty butt naked?
No, fuck no. We still had the pants and shit on and everything that,
Okay,
but
that's
my
good.
shirt was in the process of coming off, and I was had one arm out of the sleeve and shit
So you're
that.
just in an awkward state.
So I'm in a fucking toga damn near. And so yeah, that was the most it wasn't the worst date I've ever been on. She was cool or whatever. We stopped talking after that. I think for obvious reasons, but yeah, dude, it was got stopped by the cops, damn near got arrested because they were well, y'all are underage. We were 16, 17 at the time, and so we can't technically charge y'all with anything, which if you're gonna go do this shit, go do it in front of your parents' house. Go to an alley. Go do somewhere that's not a fucking park and do it.
At least
man.
they were cool about it.
Yeah, but it was funny as fuck because they pulled us both out of the car. Like, I'm freezing my foot. I'm getting like nippy outside. Like, my nipple's hard as fuck while we're sitting out there, like freezing my ass off.
Triple gang coming in.
Dude, I was like a shrimp in there. No, I'm just kidding. But dude, that's probably the worst date that I've ever been on. Was like, you know, like I said, she was a cool person and everything like that. But you know, getting stopped by the cops at the end of everything, I was like, yeah, maybe this isn't gonna happen again. Maybe it's a sign. Yeah. And plus, like, I had to go all the way to the fucking like outskirts of Arlington. Like, it was literally like you drive past fucking factories down in a random ass neighborhood to get to her house, and I was like, I'm out in the fucking boonies of Arlington. I don't want to do this again, dude. I'd rather just like drive 15 minutes to somebody's house and just to get some fucking coochie. Like,
Do you know what Arlington High School did she go to?
Martin.
Hey, yo.
Arlington
Martin. Shout out.
No shout out.
Yeah, no shout out.
But dude, yeah, that was a fun night. It was interesting to say the least.
Yeah, straight up, dude. That's crazy. Wow. That's crazy. That's a good story, though.
It is for sure.
All right, let's go to question number 2. That was a good start off to the questions. Holy shit, I can't wait to see where this goes. We also got, what makes you feel the most confident?
This fucking thing right now. I'm just kidding. Confidence. Damn. I have like my moments. It goes up. My confidence goes up and down all the time, dude. Like,
it's kind of bipolar confidence.
Yeah, because like when I feel like I'm the man, I'm fucking him, dude. Like my aura is at 1,000. Like, it goes up. And I'm top shit. Nobody can tell me anything. But then there's days where, and it's usually happens when I'm working. Like, a lot of my best confidence comes out when I'm like working out or working, and then I just feel better about myself. Like, say I go to an early morning gym sesh, you know, like trying to get back into fucking working out heavy again, stuff like that. Like the other day I went up and I was like, fuck it, man, I'm going to try hitting 315 on squat just to say, fuck it, I can do it still. And I got it for 2 reps, and I was like, bro, fuck yeah. Like, that whole day went great. My attitude was so much better throughout the day because I was like, I did something that really made me like proud of myself. I guess when I feel real proud of myself on certain days, like my confidence goes up a lot. But then there's days where I'm like, you know, hungover and fucking wanting to just rot away at life. Like,
just want to get through the day, you know,
going through the motions and shit. And then I got to get to work, and I'm like, dude, like I'm half cocked, like literally.
Seems like when you accomplish shit, you get confidence.
Yeah,
it's like getting stuff done. You're like, hell yeah, you just feel like that dude.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way, bro.
Yeah.
Because like if I do nothing all fucking day, I'm just gonna be like, well, what the fuck am I doing? Like I'm kind of rotting away at life right now. But then I'm like, you know, I have a sense. If I fulfill some sense of purpose, like it makes me feel a lot better about myself.
All right, what's up? Heck yeah.
Let's go to question number 3.
Say about who too.
So this is, you know who this is?
Yaneli.
So she's asked these past 3 questions. So this is her last one. If you could visit any place on Earth, where would you go?
All right, little nerdy plug right here, dog. I'm a massive Godzilla fan. Like, it is absolutely one of my favorite movie franchises. Like anything related to it. You call me a little fucking nerd. I collect all the figurines and shit like that. So like, I'll spend good money on that shit. But they actually have an entire like block damn near in Japan where you can go. There's multiple different stores. You can buy stuff there. I've already price compared like shit to US, like the yen to US dollars and stuff. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. Like it's cheap enough for me to go there and get shit. Like, but they also have like a giant exhibit where from one of the movies, it's like, they have his mouth opened up and you can go in and explore it. It takes you through like a whole little, damn near like a museum.
That's sick.
It goes through the history of everything like that from like,
that's cool, man.
The true Japanese films and stuff like that, like the newest one, like the -1 and shit like that. So like even the American made ones like the Monsterverse and stuff like that. So if I go anywhere in the world, obviously like Japan's such a beautiful place as well. Like for the culture, the food and everything like that, I would love to go and visit, spend like a week or 2 over there and just fucking, you know, soak it all in, man.
Quite frankly, I don't think that's a nerdy answer. I think that's a pretty badass one.
Actually, that's what she wanted for her graduation gift, and my parents sent her over there. She was there
for
like 3 weeks. Yeah, she went to Japan.
That's awesome.
With one of her friends and their parents, and they went to like the Disney World over there. They went to Universal Studios. They did a whole bunch of like the anime shit. She's into that too, and she loves it. She wants to actually move over there. Yeah,
that sounds cool.
After school, so
it's actually a lot more affordable than I thought as well too. I always thought that was going to be like one of the most expensive places to go and visit, and then actually I had a friend of mine who went. I think she went last winter or fall.
Yeah.
She went there for like a month, I think, if I could remember correctly. But dude, she said it was well within, you know, like an affordable price and shit like that to go and eat, to go and even stay in like the hotels and stuff over there. I thought I was gonna have to fucking like rack up like thousands of dollars just to go, and it's like, no, like, you know, it could be like any other trip if I went to like fucking Vegas or California, or if even like to another fucking country, you know.
Yeah. I think the most expensive thing is like actually getting there. So the flight's probably going to be the most
That's
expensive.
a gnarly plane ride too. That's a gnarly flight.
Yeah,
it's a long
exactly.
one.
But if you plan ahead, bro, like you can see on Google Flights and see when is the cheapest time to go. Also, so obviously if you go like from one day to another, yeah, it's going to be expensive. But if you plan this shit out, bro, you can spend less and go if you plan ahead.
It'd be cool to go with your daughter too.
Yeah, I'm terrified to put her on a plane right
Yeah, I
now
don't
with all
blame
the
you.
shit going on right now.
It's
Like,
been a crazy year.
yeah,
Yeah,
planes.
for sure.
but I just definitely probably would take like go with, you know, a couple of friends or whatever first. Take like the little solo trip.
Yeah.
And then, you know, once she gets big enough and older too, because
To kind of remember it.
yeah, I would like to take her so she can be interactive with stuff like
yeah.
that too. Because I know she'll love all that stuff. I mean, she loves like, she grabs all my little figures and stuff off the wall, and she'll just start fucking like roaring at them and stuff like that. So I was like, you know, at least she's not afraid of it.
No, that's cool, man.
And that's like the things that people remember. Like if
yeah.
you tell me what I remember like trips, going with my parents.
Same.
You know what I'm saying?
Same.
That's one thing that you can't. I mean, obviously you can buy it because you can plan it out, spend money, and go. But it's better than material shit because I mean, me growing up, I collected. My dad used to buy me a shitload of Legos.
Yeah.
Where are they now? Who fucking knows? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But the memories last
But I would have
forever.
every fucking new Lego, big ass pieces and all that shit.
Would you
but-
build them and everything?
Yeah, I would build them.
Shout
I remember
out
I had like a
Caesar.
whole city. I had like the train tracks.
That's
I had,
killer.
like a remote train. It was so nice.
hell yeah.
I used to collect a lot of fucking Legos.
All right, dude, we're cooking. These are
Hell
some
yeah.
great questions, great answers. Oh shit, wrong one. All right, so
That's my sister, Stephanie.
she said, "Gay." That's not really a question, but
Yeah.
we'll move on from
Let her know
from
that.
All right, and then
Okay, this is my other sister, Victoria.
all right. So your top 5 black historical figures.
Antonio Brown, final answer.
That's a good one. CTESPN shout out. We'd love to have you on.
Oh God,
We'll
let's
talk
get him on
about-
the fucking cast.
We'll talk about Ben Roethlisberger. We'll talk about Tom Brady. We'll talk about Giselle. We'll talk about all his endeavors when he's in the swimming pool, all the crazy stuff he does.
Talk about his super
twerking.
successful rap career.
Right? Talk about twerking in the end zone.
Oh,
Hey,
dude.
yo.
Oh,
Talk
when
about
he-
retirement.
Right? Talk about his love for the Don. I
Did
know
he
he's a
really-
big,
did
big
he really
Donald
retire
Trump guy.
Mid-game, right?
Yeah. It was when they played the Jets.
Yeah.
It was that season after they won the Super Bowl. He pretty much stripped down but,
And bounced.
and just dipped. He said, I'm out. And that was his last
He
game.
did fucking jumping jacks down the fucking end zone.
Right?
Just dipped off.
Yeah. That was
Legendary
wild.
into a career, man.
I think if you're gonna choose 5, I think all 5 being Antonio Brown is the most valid answer of all time.
Antonio Brown on the Patriots, Antonio Brown on the Buccaneers, Antonio Brown from the Steelers.
People also forget
Top 3.
the training camp Antonio Brown with the Raiders.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
So many
He
different
didn't even make it to
personalities.
the
No,
season,
he just
dog.
did training camp and dipped because I think he got mad because they wouldn't let him wear this. He had that older helmet he'd always wear, and he was pissed. He's like, "Nah, I ain't playing if I
They
can't wear
wanted
my
to give
helmet."
him like one of the new Evo flexes or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that, and he
yeah.
was like, "Dude, just let me wear my fucking bucket."
He's like, "Peace, I'm out."
Bro said he wants to keep the CTE in, not out.
Damn. That's
Dude,
crazy.
have you?
Kidding.
I've watched his Theo Vaughn. It's insane.
I haven't watched it.
It's funny,
It's
bro.
funny?
It's funny. He says some wild shit.
I love looking
Him
at
and
his
Theo
Twitter.
Vaughn just spitting off each other is amazing.
I love whenever he posts the cracker of the week. Shit's so funny, dude.
Dude, his cracker of the week is great. Hopefully we can make it on Antonio's cracker of the week. I'm calling you, Antonio. You know what's up. All right. So we got, you know who this is?
Peter, learn how to ask the question right the first
Yeah,
time.
Yeah. It was a little autistic, but it's okay.
It's okay. He's from California.
Yeah. So what's your 5-year goal?
5 year. By the time I'm dirty 30. There's a couple different options right now, man. My older brother is a firefighter. Obviously, like, I feel like if you have a sibling, like, especially for guys, like, older, younger, whatever it is, I always feel like, you know, it's a goal or a dream to, like, want to work side by side with your brother. And, you know, firefighting's such a a physically demanding job, but also demanding in the sense of your time as well. Like, he tells me how long he's been on site for some of these fires. They go up to, 18, 20. Some of them have even gone over full 24 hours where they have to, rotate different squads out there just to give guys, a 30-minute break. The first ones to arrive on the scene will be there for minimum, 12 hours if the fire is that bad.
Holy shit.
And then they get relief for probably about 2 hours just to get off their feet, But, I would love to be able to work side by side with my brother. My very first job, actually, at the Great Outdoors, he was the manager there. But
I forgot you worked there, man. I remember coming seeing you there.
GOD, dog.
Hey, yo.
That fucking play. There's I think I have just as like many comparable stories there as to when I was bartending on 7th Street, which is crazy to think of a fucking sandwich shop.
Well, it makes sense. You probably get some wackos. Everyone loves sandwiches, bro. Who doesn't love a sandwich? We might have to do we're definitely gonna have to do a part 2 episode with Jesse for sure to get all the dirt.
God damn.
Get him on
have to.
We're gonna foreshadow. We're definitely gonna be doing a 2 guys 1 cast after dark at our location, our rooftop location that everyone loves, so you can have the Fort Worth city skyline lit up. We'll get some Michelobes, some Twisted Teas, whatever.
To the raunchy shit.
Yeah, we'll get all the boys, and we'll just be uncensored as it gets. Yeah. Foreshadowing. Not foreskinning, foreshadowing.
But, man, yeah, that's probably, like, if bartending isn't something I want to do in the next immediate years, like, because I am starting to have more of the thoughts of, like, is this going to be my forever career? Is this going to be something where I look back 10, 15 years from now and am I still just a bartender? Do I step back into management? Do I even step back into, like, partnership with certain fucking companies? Or, like, if somebody reaches back out for an opportunity, like, am I going to take that? But that I would love to be a bartender, even be like a bar owner, partner, operating manager, something like that for a company if the opportunity arises. But I think I'm starting to lean a little bit more towards the fire department, man. I mean, I get to work with my older brother. He's 7 years older than me, so we get to be able to have this physically like demanding job that we get to work side by side together. Because he's a fucking freak of nature, dude. Like, this dude's 5'8", 5'9", but I mean, he outlifts me all the fucking time, dude. Like, we'll be going squat for squat, bench for bench, and then he throws on another fucking 25, dude. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm gassed.
Shit.
Like, he wears me out of a fucking workout every time. Damn near makes me throw up every time we work out together. But it's something like that. Like, he's always given me a goal to strive for and giving me something to like look up to, as like a role model, and also just like as an older brother. Like, I think it's the perfect example of like what you would always want to look for. So, being able to work side by side with him, working at Station 23 over there off of good old Las Vegas Trail, like,
that'll be fun.
Dealing
dude.
with all the crackheads and shit.
I bet that adrenaline rush is badass too.
Yeah, man, it's
definitely like not
fun.
knowing what your day's gonna look like.
That's always the best though. Especially like with the boys, the camaraderie. That's always the best shit.
And he tells me some of the stories they do over there, like when they're bored at the station, when there's nothing going on. They'll play little video games, or they'll just like play pranks on each other and stuff like that. But it's nice to know like these are fully grown adult men who, when the Call of Duty, when the call to duty happens, like, they're on their shit. They're there. They're locked in. They get it settled. They get it done. But they're regular ass people too. Like, they like to joke around. They like to have fun. They dick around. Like, it's just a bunch of goofy ass grown men just doing their shit.
Sounds like a good time.
Just guys being dudes.
Just guys being dudes, man.
How long has your brother been a firefighter for now?
I want to say it's been, let me see. How fucking old is he now, dude? 7 years older than me. I want to say he's like in his 5th or going into his 6th year, one of the two. I know it's been around 5 years for sure. But, yeah, man, I mean, he started, obviously he started at the lowest level there is there, and then he worked his way up to, I think he's gotten one promotion so far where he can actually operate the truck. Because there's certain rules and standards you have to go by until you can, operate the truck. Or
so, like, he's driving the truck?
He can if he wants to, but he also can, like, if they get a call out or somewhere, there's usually somebody who's in charge of, like, directing where everyone does, what everybody goes to and stuff like that. I think that's what he's doing now. I can't remember. So we talked about it a few weeks ago, but it was kind of back on the conversation of him trying to, like, convince me, like, hey, man, you come and do this, like, follow in my footsteps, do it just like this, and you'll be fine. And so it's definitely something that, like, he loves. He fell in love with it. He actually met what gave him the idea to do that was back at the Great Outdoors. Actually, he was a manager. You know, some of the old like captains and stuff like that who would go and just fucking sit and have lunch and stuff. They would chop it up with him, and they were like, "Hey, man, like, if you don't want to be stuck in a sandwich shop forever, you know." He was in college at the time, driving all the way to UNT and shit to go to school, and he was like, you know, like, let me just finish out my year, let me get my little degree, and it's like, I'll let y'all know, like, you know, it was kind of like a half-cocked like idea at first, and then when he stepped fully into it, he full sent. Like, I mean, dude, that's
the way to be, though.
Every fucking thing he had into that, and that, so he never looked back. So it's definitely something that like he loves, and you know, he's trying to get me there. He's trying to get me convinced in and buy into it, and I think I'm right at that borderline of like, if I'm gonna buy in, I'm gonna full send it to you.
I could see you doing that for sure, man.
Oh, I'd love to. Like I said, I'd love to work with my brother for sure.
And I bet having like, you know, like the however many days on, however many days off is awesome because you get to spend more time, like just full days with your daughter too.
Yeah,
Definitely.
It's badass. So that's the last question.
those only questions.
Yeah,
we got.
Those are all good questions, all great answers too.
For
Holy
sure.
shit. Jesse out here pimping. I respect that drip.
Pimping, not simping, dog.
Damn
you know?
right. Ditch the wimp, get with a pimp. You already know the game.
Damn right. So yeah, I think we're gonna close this off. This episode. We're gonna close this episode off right here.
We'll definitely link all of Jesse's social medias in the links, so you can hit him up, follow him.
Subscribe to my OnlyFans.
Straight up, it's very juicy. I mean, we are on the casting couch, so so you know what's gonna go down.
Get that content out next time.
Yeah, straight up. Subscribe for the After Dark episode. It's gonna be.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing an After Dark episode, maybe like once a month.
We should get
Let us know what
Jesse
y'all
on for the
think.
next one.
And it'll just be like just chilling on the rooftop. Just
We'll try to get more mics soon too, so we can do like 5 guys, 1 cast. Damn, that's
that'll be a
insane.
lot of guys.
A lot of bros.
But we can get some girls too. I mean, we have a lot of coworkers that are cool as shit too.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? You can throw like a little rooftop pod party.
Yeah. That sounds like a great time for me.
Right. So we'll see. Let us know what y'all think. And yeah, we're gonna close this off right here.
All right, this is my dog Jesse Delgado. Look
you guys
look
for
forward for the
having me.
part 2. It's gonna be coming soon.
Wait
Part
for
2
the After
coming
Dark.
soon.
We'll
Life
get better
update.
stories out of it.
Oh yeah, and if you have more questions for him for the next episode with Jesse, comment, send them our way so we can ask him.
For sure. Peace.
Once again, this is 2 guys, 1 cast. We out of here, baby.
We out.